Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to the video. So, to make the long story short here, I burned up my motor on my Granite pretty quick after getting it. I took it to the beach, blasted it on the sand with lipo in it, thermaled it a bunch of times. Everything was fine when I got home from the beach, but I got to drive it once in my yard at home, and the motor just ate it. So I'm not at this point. I wasn't really familiar enough with the hobby to know what motor I could replace the stock one with. So I just shelled out the extra. I think it was like $30, and just got the stock one. It's like an actual Arma 12 turn, and I'm trying to install it here, and it seemed pretty simple. But this was my first time, and it did take me a while to figure it out. Right here, I had just simply taken the screw out of the bottom center, which you can see comes up through this red piece that's used as the battery strap, and then you have to get this red piece out of there before anything else can slide backwards. So I don't know if it's just the first time this car was apart, or if it's because I had like sand everywhere that everything was just tighter and didn't want to slide easy. But so just pulled that red piece out, and next I'm going to pull out the actual drive shaft, and it's kind of tight. It's spring loaded, so you can pull it off the front diff there pretty easy. But then getting it to kind of flex out of the way to pull completely back the other way off, I was a little uneasy about it. I had to kind of flex it and bend it a little bit, but it ended up working out fine. And I kind of got just about stumped a few times here looking for other screws and stuff that I was missing. As you can see right there, I finally pulled the shaft off the opposite direction. I just flexed it enough to get it to go over that whole gearbox assembly there. And I don't know, I just couldn't get that gearbox. I know you pull up on the tab, and the little latch was clear, but I could not get that whole gearbox to move, and I just kept thinking there must be another bolt somewhere that lets that release. So I spent forever looking for it. There's not, guys. I just ended up basically taking a flathead and prying on the far edges of this gearbox, a little at a time, and like I said, I think it was just a mixture of sand, salt water, and this being, it's pretty new and it's the first time it's came apart, as to why it didn't want to slide out of there real well.
Screw here underneath, and the whole top shoot.
And there you can see I was finally able to work it out, and you can see all the sand all over it. Sand had kind of congregated to the hole in the bottom where the gear comes out. So I was like, oh great. So this is about the extent of my RC mechanical knowledge, really. Disassemble things. I've done that kind of stuff before, but I've never really taken apart a gearbox or anything like this. Swapping out my Allens here, and now I'm basically going to take I think there's 3 bolts to take the cover off this box. yeah, everything seemed pretty simple from here. That cover pulled off. You can see where the gears mesh together. And it's really nice how Arma labels the bolt holes where the motor goes in, depending on what tooth pinion gear you have. So I'm just looking at that. That gear's in good. This is a plastic gear, but it's in good shape. It's just got sand all in it. Gearbox had some sand in it. So basically, this is where I found my demise trying to fix this. I had the new motor on hand, but I go to remove the old pinion gear from the motor shortly, and the bolt strips. This is a Traxxas toolkit, but either the edges are worn on my Allens, or maybe I should have heated up that pinion with MAP gas or something first. I'm sure it's probably got some Loctite on it, but I just stripped out the bolt holding that gear on. I spent a little while trying to get that gear off, and I ended up putting in a vise, and I got enraged, and I cranked the vise down and just exploded the gear eventually. So I just ordered another pinion gear and another bolt. I had to wait a few more days, but yeah, everything went fine. Putting it back together went fine. Had zero issues there. Very straightforward. Put your new motor in. Make sure your gears line up. Put the cover on. Slide it back into place. Slide your axle back on. Not your axle. Slide your drive shaft back on. And then bolt down your red battery holder. And you're pretty good to go. So my Granite runs well now. But now I'm interested in what kind of cash it would take to upgrade it to the brushless system. So look for that in a future video. So guys, if you got any tips for me or tricks or constructive criticism or whatever, please leave them down below, because I'm completely new at this hobby. I'm just learning, and I need to absorb everything I can. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.